This is Average Sports.
By your average guys.
Eric.
And Ty. That would be so bad.
Yeah. This is Average Sports.
Your average sports.
Average Sports.
Thanks for tuning into another episode of
You're listening to Average Sports with your average guys.
Average Sports, average guys, Eric and Ty.
And we're back, baby, just like that. Wow, season 4. All right. I think we're only going to have time, though, to do one more. So this is like
one
our...
more. Yeah, we'll have our season wrap episode in a couple of weeks before the holiday break.
Yeah, what's a fancy word for second to last? I know there is one. I'm not thinking of it. Just first loser. Runner up? Yeah, that's not that fancy, dude. That's a very average term. Anyway, it is Average Sports. And that's all you're going to get when you tune into this, by the way. It's a very average look at sports. But we're going to give our opinions on what we've been seeing the last couple of weeks. And there has been plenty. The greatest season of sports is still upon us. We have pretty much all major sports still going on in the U.S. And that's the way we like it, Eric. It's great. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Hey, I mean, December's a great time of year for
early
sports.
December.
I mean,
yeah.
NHL is really like in the thick of it of trying to figure out, where the good teams are. NBA is obviously a little bit different because it's always a little bit more top heavy, but you're getting some good matchups this time of year and seeing some of the teams kind of develop and round out. And it's a pretty great time of year. But before we dive into it, we do have a holiday edition of Would You Rather.
Do we
and
really?
This one's a fun one today. Would you rather vacation somewhere hot or cold during the holidays, and why, Mr. Ty?
All right, if I had to pick one to start, because I'm going to say off the bat, I would like to alternate. That'd be cool. Go somewhere cold one year, then hot. But if I had to just pick one, I'm going to go cold because there's all that, imagery for being in the northern hemisphere. I mean, Christmas time means snow and, holiday time and all that good stuff. I love being in the mountains anyway. I mean, we both lived there for a while. It's cool. It's a good vibe. I like it. Holidays. Got to get the snow on.
Yeah,
How about you?
The holidays, I think there are better times to go to the mountains, and that's typically where I think I would go most of the time. I would certainly overall rather go somewhere cold for a vacation, but during the holidays, I'm going to pick somewhere warm.
Whatever. I can think of better times to go to the beach, Eric.
Hey,
than the holidays.
Most of the people are away from the beach. I didn't say it was going to be the beach. I just said somewhere warm.
Oh, somewhere
Maybe
warm.
I'm going to Arizona to go golf. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Have fun with that.
It didn't specify. So,
okay.
Maybe
point.
just kind of get out of, St. Louis, the Midwest, where it's pretty, normally pretty cold in December, January. So it's kind of nice to maybe warm it up just a little bit that time of year.
Okay. Would you rather fly or drive?
Oh, I would rather fly 9 times before I would ever rather drive.
Really?
I don't mind driving. I drive for a living, for my job. But if I can fly somewhere, if it's more than 5 hours, I would much rather fly it.
You sound like you're a truck driver. So where are my gifts
I'm
now?
not a truck driver.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a delivery driver,
really
but I do spend
teed yourself up
an exorbitant amount of time in my car.
Okay. Maybe you had a night job I didn't know about. I don't know.
No.
Anyway, how about some sports? Let's talk about what we're really
let's jump into it.
That's right. Some things that were going on in the last, since the last time we did an episode. I want to talk about how Michigan upset Ohio in that Big Ten matchup before the championship. That was a pretty convincing win. Even though Ohio was staying in the game, they just had no answer for what Michigan was doing. It was pretty good. And then they go on and dominate Iowa for the Big Ten championship. So shout out to those guys up there in Michigan doing their thing.
Yeah, I think that's a big win. It's not just them beating Ohio State, which, I mean, that is one of the best rivalries in college football. I mean, of course, you would have, the Iron Bowl, Alabama and Auburn. That would be a big one. But, I really think it's this matchup here. I mean, this is the quintessential matchup when it comes to college football. At least what I think of is Michigan and Ohio State. And Harbaugh has never beaten Ohio State. This is the first time he's done it. He's had a great career there in Michigan after he left San Francisco 49ers and has recruited very, very well. He's been a top team, but he's always had that, thorn in his side, monkey on his back kind of, stereotypical superstition or whatever you want to call it of being able to beat Ohio State and have an opportunity to play for a national championship. And now he's going to be able to do it. So congratulations to Michigan for beating Ohio State and as well as dominating Iowa in the Big Ten championship and being able to play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that 4 is set, by the way. So it's what Alabama will play Cincinnati, who we featured a couple weeks ago, kind of talking about them keeping them out, but they were able to sneak in with a couple of teams losing.
Yeah, exactly. Would they have been in there had Ohio not lost?
I don't think so.
Right. Exactly.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And then Oklahoma State was another big one. They lost too. They were the number 2 team in the country this week, and they lost as well.
Yeah, good point.
I don't think they would have been in if Oklahoma State didn't lose as well, which is kind of upsetting for Oklahoma State, obviously, to lose their chance. But then the other matchup will be Georgia and Michigan. So
nice.
that's a tough matchup for those 2 teams to draw, but that's kind of the point. So
yeah, exactly. It's not an expansive playoff picture. We know that. So
good luck to 3 teams. Alabama, I don't care about you.
Yeah, right. And who does? So staying on the football field, the old gridiron, looking at some games, the most current week. What are we on? Week 12 or week 13 right now in the NFL?
Week 13.
Week 13? Dang. Went by fast, dude. How about, though, the Ravens going for 2 on Sunday Night Football? They could go. They need to win the game. I like it.
It wasn't the Sunday night game.
Are you sure it wasn't the Sunday night game?
Yes, the Sunday night game was Kansas City, Denver.
Yeah, you're right. That was a bummer. Yeah. So maybe that game really just felt like the Sunday night game because really the Kansas City game
was exciting. It's what we wanted.
It was very exciting. That was a great football game to watch. A little back and forth, and they're playing a division rival. We talked about it in our last episode that's a matchup you want to stay tuned for.
Always, yeah.
Man. And it didn't disappoint, but I got to give it to the Ravens coach. They got the other Harbaugh right now for making the call to try and go for the water boy win. Get the 2 points right there at the end. Like, let's just get the W now rather than do the OT thing.
Well, think about this.
But yeah, I
don't know if you remember, they did this earlier in the season against Kansas City.
I don't remember.
They chose to go for it on 4th down, and if they had gotten the first down, they would have been able to run out the clock. Or they could have punted the ball and given it back to Mahomes and hoped that their defense could have held. But they decided not to do that, and they went ahead and went for it. So that's how it ended up.
That's right, and it worked out for them.
And they went.
Yeah, I remember
it worked out for them against Kansas City,
right?
Not against Pittsburgh.
So taking a couple games. Yeah, I mean, it was just a kind of and the fact that there was a pass to tight end Andrews, right? It went off the fingertips of him, and it was so close. They had the game, and it's just a big disappointment. Even you could see it on the Steelers' faces, like, "Oh, we got away with the one, but we will take it." Like, yeah, we got that game. Pretty crazy stuff. So, definitely worth checking out the highlights. But remember that, though, also going into, in case those guys, I don't know if do they already get to, or have they already played before? I don't feel like they did, and they should get to meet another time.
They have, I believe they do have a second game coming up.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to watch. All right, how about a little basketball, though? LeBron, this is just interesting. Sideline for a false positive test. I mean, that would be pretty annoying. Any take on that?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just kind of the world that we live in right now, that there is, no lab test is perfect. Especially coming from someone that my job is working in diagnostic lab work, but no lab test is perfect, and obviously this is going to happen from time to time, and it's just kind of the world we live in. I think we'd rather be safe than sorry, especially with such a sport like basketball. I mean, just any of the sports, like your close contact. I mean, you're right in your opponent's face all the time. So, I mean, I think I'd rather just be safe than sorry. It sucks that it happened, but, it can happen, but
it just feels like the guy's missed a lot of games already this year. He's definitely in the twilight years of his career. Every game's going to mean something. It's kind of disappointing to see that. But how about, though, Durant, speaking of a long-time career, 14 years in the league, passes Ray Allen for 24th all-time in scoring. How about that?
That's pretty exciting. And, it always surprises me, though, with someone like Durant that honestly I thought he would have already been higher, but maybe it's just because, it's the day and age that we live in that I just kind of thought that he would have had more points than 24th all time by now. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty exciting to see that he's done it and he's moving up the ranks. He's still a relatively young player. Probably could, play another, 7 to 10 years. Potentially.
What, you think that many?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure how old he is. I want to say he's probably young 30s.
I got to look that up. Kevin, age, Durant, age. Yes, Kevin. Hold on. Age. It's coming. 33. I don't know. 7 years? 40?
Yeah.
It could be done.
I mean, he could potentially play till then. He's not a huge contact player. So, I mean, I think he's saved, he doesn't drive the lane a lot. So I think he's been able to save his body a little bit in that sense. So, I mean, potentially, yeah. 5 to 7 years, I think, is what he's got.
So, by the way, this is just for funsies. When you search Kevin Durant on Google, one of the, I guess, most commonly asked questions people also ask for on that search, what did Kevin Durant do at age 11? At age 11, he played basketball for the Prince George Jaguars. In high school, he played National Christian Academy. Okay, interesting. I don't know why that age would have to stick out. I'm a little disappointed, actually. I guess I don't really care where he played.
At age 11, was he on a high school team? Is that what you said?
I don't know. Maybe. That's why they're asking. Why do people care what he was doing at age 11? I thought it was Kevin Durant's lemonade stand. It was pretty awesome. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if he was playing high school basketball at age 11, I mean, that's impressive.
That would be then it would be pretty badass. So, he's a phenomenal player, yeah. So anyway, let's move on, though. How about we jump into the topic of this episode? This one I came up with for this one, and I think you'd rather like it, Eric. That I had this one with you in mind because I think we can have some good exchanges on this. And it's really about just rules that could change. Maybe not so much of all about that dramatically changed the game. It could be even as something as small as how you record stats. So I want to go into a couple of notes, and then also just keep in mind if you were commissioner, not even for a day, if you just had the chance to change rules for football as we know it and moving forward, what could be better for the game? Because I think every once in a while we see some, I don't want to say irregularities, but just odd nuances. Why do we still do it this way? So as an example, listening to a sports broadcast on the road over the weekend, listening to a football game every Sunday, the announcers, comically so, were making fun of a punter. He had to punt so many times, they were giving him a hard time. I bet that guy, he's going to have to get in the ice bath, this guy. How often does that happen? Can he even do that? Will people allow him? He's a kicker. Okay, I get it. If it's such, kickers that have gotten such that reputation, have always carried that reputation, are they even... And I know this would be a kind of a crazy question to a lot of people, but are they even worthwhile to the sport? Do we need kickers anymore if they don't prove that much value to a team? Or still keep the kicking component and allow other members of the team, you have to have other staff kick the ball. You can't have such specialized team members.
Well, then what's to prevent, potentially the Ravens listing Justin Tucker as a safety? No, he's converted to safety now. But he's their fourth-string safety and never plays.
Well, so another thought, though, is they have the deepest roster. They have the largest team, right, in professional sports?
53.
I mean, is that larger than hockey? I'd have to think about that.
Oh, yeah. Hockey is 28.
Is that it? I thought they were like...
No, 22.
Okay. I thought they were bigger than that.
22. No.
Well, I mean, so they have the deepest lineup, though, too. So should you consider scaling that back to eliminate that from happening?
The reason